Hey up guys, what's going on? And welcome back to York City, where I forgot to press record while the draw was being made. This is our draw. Napoli, Galatasaray, Olympiacos. It's not that fun. Although, connections. We signed Loftus-Cheek from Olympiacos at the end of his contract there this year, and we sold Oxlade-Chamberlain to Galatasaray. We've got the links. Who do we play first? Napoli's first. Through the magic of time travel, that's when you'll rejoin us, otherwise known as video editing. With Napoli about to be welcomed to the York Community Stadium, I will just focus on the league for a second and let you know how we're doing on that. Huddersfield doing fantastically well in fourth. Same record as us, in fact, 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. The loss was quite comprehensive to Man United. They ran us basically off the park. This might go down as one of the worst performances we've ever had on this save, though just a reminder, that's who they have up front. So following the 2-0 victory against Bournemouth, you saw last time out, it was away from home, of course, good victory there. A home victory against Wolves, which is always helpful. One team that we kind of expect to be in the pack, despite the fact they've just been re-promoted. They are ahead of us on the season preview. Almost wish I'd brought you the Leeds derby, because bit eventful. We took the lead, they equalised 10 minutes later. They went 2-1 up in the 84th minute. I was thinking, oh God, really? And this one, it goes down as an own goal. Super unfortunate it doesn't go down as another James Grimes banger, because it's weirdly very similar to a goal you saw last year where it hit the post and then bounced straight across the goal and nearly nestled into the far corner if it hadn't been for their defender running the ball over the line themselves. Ridiculous goal. Should have gone to James Grimes, but that guy selfishly made it an own goal instead. Oh, and of course, were those the only 2 shots on target for Leeds? Yes, they were. Very similar stat page to the Stoke one. Should have been more than 1-0. We missed a penalty. But now we welcome Napoli, who are managed by Carlo Ancelotti. Again, if anyone can remember the definition of insanity, someone might want to tell Napoli. But their estimated value is about 400 million, just above. Ours, it's 1 billion. Oh yeah, another takeover happening, potentially. There was one at the start of the transfer window which embargoed me for about a week. Didn't affect anything in the end, thankfully. But yeah, the one that was sort of teased at the end of last season didn't go anywhere in the end. I was actually expecting that one to happen. It didn't. But here we are, they're in excellent form. In fact, they are 4 wins on the bounce. And of course, favourites for the group. Although, we're favourites for the match. Because that's the world we live in now, where York are favourites to beat Napoli. Okay, now there's one thing to highlight here in terms of the team. Firstly, I can only assume it's Seri's arrival has made Madeira only 3 stars in our team now this year. I don't know what's changed there for that to have gone that dramatically different. But both inside forwards having an absolute rotten time of things, and I don't know why. I can't work out why they're both operating at a 6.6 average. And if it wasn't for Alonso's injury, I would be tempted to give him a shot on the left-hand side. However, Madeira, we will persevere there. Now, I did a little bit of rotation for the Stoke game, thankfully, so some of the main positions, in fact, it didn't really matter too much because they're mostly okay. So the team for this is, of course, we're not going to take Napoli lightly. Obviously, we're not going to rotate against them. Dutra's in goal, Saxton on the left, Coolridge and Madeira in the middle, Shaw on the right, Lentas in the anchorman, Grimes and Seri in the middle, Madeira and Velasquez is going to deal with that inside forward role for the time being. I just can't justify having 2 players on a 6.6 average in the team, and then Foreman's going to be up front. Scored twice already. It's not a massive haul, but it's not the worst either. Seri scored twice. He's the best player in world football. Bit of exaggeration maybe, but 7.58 so far. He's bloody brilliant. By the way, just because the rules are different mean there's actually more people registered for the Europa League than there are in the Premier League. Also worth mentioning, as a result, Argueso's gone out on loan to Hertha Berlin. Actually promised him regular football, so I figured, okay then. Which means Callum Nassel is now re-registered for the Premier League as well as this. Depending on how these things go, you might see him. If they go anything like my Southampton save, then yep. If I end up beating Napoli 9-0 away from home, like I did with Besiktas there, we are going to be laughing again. It took me about 5 minutes to recover from that one. Once again, bookies' favourite, but apparently underdogs. Please sort this out, game. I'm gone expecting a performance. I didn't mean to do that. I have faith in the striker. Not the greatest of team talks, and we will, of course, put the scores up. Now, the other 2 teams in our group, Galatasaray and Olympiacos. I'm going to say now, if anything happens with this, or stream-wise, I am tempted to do something in the world of the Greek football, because obviously it's not had the greatest of times of late, in general. Sorry, did I see Alan San-Maximan scored? Was it for the Galatasaray? I suppose he might be getting on a bit now. It's about 8 years in the future, and he's probably early 30s now, I'd imagine. Anyway, Seri's charging forward. Still charging forward. And Zaniolo, one of the players who can become one of the best players in world football, has taken him out. I don't think he's quite the maximum he can be. Same with Armini in their defence. He is worth 50 million, but I have seen them better than they are on this save. Is he outside the box? I mean, it looked like he was outside the box. Free kick given. That's why I didn't get too hyped up there, because I was pretty certain it was outside. He's taken his sweet time to run across and book him, though. I assume that's what's about to happen. Yes, Zaniolo is booked. And now they've got to play with him for about 75 minutes on a booking. Botello, who's out again. Botello, another one of those youngsters who can develop fantastically. Again, seeing him better. In fact, their team is basically wonder kids who haven't developed to the fullest of their potentials. I noticed Jonathan David in that list as well. Medina gives that to Velasquez on the right-hand side. Still have to get used to seeing him out there now. Xiao faces off against number 11. He looked like he was being fouled again there. Xiao is just running their defences ragged. I say defences, only in midfield. Performers made it 1-0. Xiao is tearing this Napoli team apart in the first 25 minutes. So just makes a mug of Camelo, and then Armini as well. Puts a foot in, fails miserably. Foreman's ahead of his defender. Fantastic work. There he is, showing his thumbs to the number 20 on the back of his shirt, as if it matters. Sorry, I had to check. He's exactly 30. How has he ended up at Galatasaray? I mean, you're better than Alonso. Can we get him back in? Oh, final highlight just before half-time. I was about to start talking about half-time stuff, but no, there's a highlight just on the end of the first half of regulation here. Saxton, he's gone for it. Good save by Gebhardt. I'm not expecting much from the resulting corner, but we'll see. Madeira, and... oh, that's just gone close. Better than we see from most corners. Now, it's not the most thrilling. 10 shots, it's not bad either. Good work from Hearts, by the way. We're the only English side in action as right now, by the looks of things, so things are going well. You are capable of even better. They've had 4 shots, but none on target, so let's keep it that way. Let's stop them shooting at our goalkeeper, who is okay, in fairness. Although, he was at fault for 2 of those Manchester United goals. Andrea Melt, that's put in, that's headed over. Oh, so like Coleridge had headed that over his own bar there. Gotta say, for our first match in Europe, it's not been exactly rife with highlights, but we do have one here on 72 minutes, as Camelo is gonna face off against Xiaonan. No, Armini's going to do it now. As a result, Camelo's got through. Helio's at the back post. He's headed over now. They do seem to enjoy that. Now, fitness-wise, we're looking okay, so I'm not really feeling the need to change too much. I may just get natural inside forward in over there. As bad as he's been in general, Ebersbach, well, average as he's been in general, 6.5 was the weakest link on our side. Even Nusek, he's put that one in. Coleridge will head that sort of clear. Seri's got it. I think he expected Madeira to run there, but he didn't. Mafundu has been tackled by Madeira, atoning for his mistake. Put Foreman through! Foreman's through! Foreman smash it, not directly at the goalkeeper. And still denying them a shot on target. Now see, Seri does tend to be the one that ends up the least on here, and he's on a 6.8, so I just took Velasquez off. That was stupid, should have moved him across. I think what we will do actually is we'll prevent a sending off there, and not really do anything else. Botello now on the ball, being hounded by Foreman. Mafundu outwards to Osorio, and Acosta, who's got past Bradley Saxton. He did kind of lose him there. And the first shot on target happens in the 92nd minute. Let's keep it that way. That wasn't the main part of the highlight, though, as Sergio hoofs that clear. Madeira's going to run at number 15. He does get tackled. Seri takes over. Grimes out to Ebersbach. Just gives it straight back to Wilson. Shaw on the right side to put this into the box, but there's 5 people waiting. Grimes hits the post, and their goalkeeper does gather what looked to be a dangerous ricochet for Foreman there. And it ends York 1, Napoli 0. And I think we've actually just inflicted Napoli's first loss of the season. We have indeed. Although admittedly it's Chievo, Ascoli and Parma and Udinese. Imagine being Napoli's biggest opponent. I can't believe we're officially Napoli's biggest opponent so far. No offence to any of these teams. That was really special, lads. First European game, 1-0. As Roma do the business over that team there. Their estimated value is less than their actual balance. How have they managed that? Also, $500,000 for the win. Lovely. New highest gate receipt record as a result of that as well. The good news is, after resting the team, everyone seems to get okay. I think we have great fitness coaches, which are helping. We actually have some of the best coaching in the league in some sections, which I was not expecting when I looked at my staff earlier. In case people wondered, James Beattie's one of them. That's about it for famous people. Also, in a few days' time, we do play the Carabao Cup match, but it's against Derby, so it does allow me to rotate a little bit, not massively so. They're obviously a division below. It's not as kind as I would have liked, but it's also not to be sniffed at. So, for this match, we will go full first team-ish. It's debatable whether Wilson or Lentas are first choice. However, it's basically same team as you saw last time. Ebersbach's come back in, and Wilson will start this one instead of Lentas, otherwise the same. 4-3-3 with Jude Bellingham in the middle. And Højbjerg. The fact they still have Højbjerg, out of all their midfielders that start this game, the fact they still have Højbjerg gets me every time. Quite a dangerous front line, really. Now, A draw here doesn't really benefit either of us. You can see that puts us both in 8th and 9th as things stands. If we win, we end up in the Champions League spots. If they win, they end up in the Europa League spots. That's gone back to Wilson, who is not dispossessed by their number 9. He came charging, but he failed. Saxon's gone for it. Hardy saves, and it's actually launched forward, but that was the end of the highlight, despite the fact it trying to trick me otherwise. North London derby happening elsewhere. Actually, of course, if Tottenham win that, they end up in the Champions League spots. Scintillating match so far. They've got a corner from an injured person. They aim for an injured person in the box. Persisting with 2 injuries, he scored. Now, it's only 6 games into the season, so I'm not as mad about it being first goal of the situation scenario. I am mad about the fact they've done it with 2 injured players, though. Pereira, first round of this, perfect. That's great. Lovely. Sarri gets a tackle in, it just goes straight to Pereira. And that's a great finish, in fairness. What's his injury? Because I'm about to get angry, probably, if it's leg-related, because if he's done that with a leg-related injury, he should not be labelled as injured. Shaunan, though, on the edge of the box. Eber's back. He's tried for it. Foreman smashed it against the defender. Might be a block highlight. It was. Groin injury. Well, he's not helping his groin doing volleys like that. Pretty even. Going to get aggressive out of them at half-time, though. Pereira into the box. Cleared again. Can you take your injured players off, please? Shambolic man management here. The medics are furious on the touchlines. He's put another corner in. When's he coming off? That's now a new debate. What's his injury, by the way? Pereira. Thigh. Ironically, they're the 2 calm players, the ones in agony. Not really a massive amount I need to change by the looks of things. It's just one of these games so far. We're having more of the ball. We'll go a little bit more positive. It's weird. We're still in the same thing. Medina's a bit anxious. I'm not keen on that. Rick can come in. That's 12 penalties, by the way. Central defender. Oh, they took Pereira off at last. And it's us that get a red injury. Fantastic work there. Thank you for that. Velasquez comes in, obviously. Just when he was having a decent-ish game as well. Come on, team. Let's get something out of this. They've come back into this somehow. I mean, that's the thing. Where's the weak link here? Just go 2 up front for the last few minutes. See if we can push anything. Go 4-2-4. I mean, it risks us, opens it up for a counter-attack a lot easier. But we've got more... speaking of, Dembele comes forward. And, well, Tathis Chong's decided that he can run. He's at the post. Oh, he's going to score for the rebound. Pay attention, team. Right, in 2D that looks stupid as all heck, but I suspect in 3D, Dutra's on the floor. I want to know what happens defensively here, because Courage... Is it Courage number 24? No, that's Rick being caught napping. He's on his knee. Urgency, Dutra. Urgency. Not happy, obviously. And actually does put them in the Champions League spots. I was incorrect, because Tottenham lost as well. Although they have a pretty good goal difference. So we beat Napoli, but lose to Southampton. Fair enough. I know it's only split by the derby game, but we do have an all-Yorkshire derby with Huddersfield, not too far away, along with our first away trip into Europe. So I do want to bring you that. After that, we might split up a little bit more. But Huddersfield and Olympiacos, 2 away games, 1 local, 1 very not local, next time out. Until then, ta-ra.